Before we start today's video, please remember to subscribe, share our videos with others, and browse the channel to watch other enjoyable videos. Spain in the early 20th century was politically unstable. It had recently gone through the traumatic loss of its last major colonies in 1898, a blow that severely impacted national pride and weakened the political system. In addition, Spain experienced significant social unrest, including strikes, anarchist movements, and labor uprisings, all of which were exacerbated by economic struggles. The Spanish monarchy was under threat, and the country was grappling with profound political divisions. Spain was not in a position to engage in a massive war overseas, given its internal problems. Economic concerns. Spain's economy was fragile and largely agrarian. It relied on trade, particularly with both the Allies and the Central Powers. Entering the war could disrupt this economic stability. Spain was mindful of the economic consequences of picking a side, especially given that both sides were important trading partners. Geopolitical position and strategic calculations. Spain's geographic location on the European periphery made it a less important strategic target. While it was situated between France, an Allied power, and Portugal, which was neutral but leaning toward the Allies, Spain's rulers recognized the dangers of getting involved in a European conflict, which could destabilize the entire Iberian Peninsula. The country's leadership, led by King Alfonso and the political elite, decided that neutrality would best serve Spain's interests. Limited military capability. Spain's military, while capable, was not as powerful as those of the major European powers involved in the conflict. Spain was not equipped to sustain a large-scale war effort, and its military lacked the modern equipment and resources necessary for a prolonged engagement. This limited its ability to participate meaningfully in this conflict, further reinforcing the decision to remain neutral. The aftermath of the Spanish Civil War. The Spanish Civil War, which ended just months before the outbreak of World War II, had a profound effect on Spain. The war had left the country devastated, both economically and politically. Francisco Franco's nationalist forces, with the support of Nazi Germany and Fascist Italy, defeated the Republicans, establishing a fascist dictatorship under Franco's leadership. Spain's infrastructure and economy were heavily damaged, and the country was politically divided, with the scars of civil war still fresh. Franco's government, while sympathetic to the Axis powers due to ideological alignment, was in no condition to engage in another major conflict so soon after the Civil War. Spain needed time to rebuild and stabilize. Economic and military weakness. Although Franco was ideologically aligned with Hitler and Mussolini, and had benefited from their support during the Civil War, Spain's military capability was insufficient to engage in another world war. Spain's economy was in ruins after the Civil War, and it lacked the resources and industrial base to sustain a prolonged conflict. Franco's priority was to stabilize and rebuild Spain, not to risk further destruction by entering a global war. Strategic neutrality. Spain's geographic position was again a factor. Surrounded by Axis-controlled territories and Allied powers, Spain was a vital pawn in the broader strategic balance of Europe. Franco's decision to remain neutral was driven by the recognition that Spain's involvement in the war could easily lead to catastrophic consequences, such as an invasion from the Allies or Axis powers. Diplomatic maneuvering. Franco's government was careful to maintain a neutral stance while still providing some support to the Axis powers. For instance, Spain allowed German troops to transit through Spain and provided logistical support, such as raw materials, like tungsten, to Germany, but never formally entered the war. This allowed Franco to maintain good relations with Hitler and Mussolini without fully committing to their side. At the same time, Franco maintained informal relations with the Allies. He carefully balanced his support and kept Spain out of direct conflict. He did, however, offer volunteer troops, the Blue Division, to fight alongside the Germans on the Eastern Front in 1941, but this was limited in scope and did not constitute full entry into the war. Fear of Allied retaliation. While Franco admired Nazi Germany, he was cautious of entering a war against the Allies. The Allies, especially Great Britain, had powerful naval and air forces, and Spain's strategic location could make it a target for a British invasion. Franco understood that Spain's participation in the war would likely draw the wrath of the Allies, particularly given the harsh experiences Spain had undergone during the Civil War. Post-Civil War isolationism. Spain's decision to remain neutral in World War II also reflected its broader post-Civil War policy of isolationism. The international community had largely ostracized Franco's regime for its fascist nature and support of Nazi Germany, so Spain was politically isolated. Franco prioritized maintaining Spain's sovereignty and stability over getting involved in another devastating conflict. That is the end of the video, and on behalf of the OLE 20th Century History YouTube channel, thank you for watching this video, and please remember to subscribe, share our videos with others, and browse the channel to watch other enjoyable videos.